Welcome to the Book Party Podcast. Join us as we journey into the world of books with Michael T. Prepare to be captivated by engaging interviews, insightful discussions, and fascinating stories. You'll discover new adventures and gain insight into the creative process of the authors themselves as they share their struggles and accomplishments. Now let's hear from Michael T.
This is Michael T. Thank you for being with us this morning. To all our listeners, I would invite you to go to bookpartypodcast.com. That is bookpartypodcast.com. Hit that subscribe tab on top and scroll down to the icon of your choice where you can find us on one of your favorite platforms. You can download us there. And don't forget, sign up for our newsletter and get the latest information on our upcoming shows. Today, I would like to introduce our guest, Anita Primrose, and her book, Blooming Violet. Anita Primrose is the author of Bonded Wings series, stories of soaring romance, where the men have wings, the danger is real, and love conquers all. She has been writing over a decade, working on everything from urban fantasy to high fantasy, but only in the last year she has devoted herself to getting her works out there for reading. She has a degree in astrophysics, an adorable dog, and has been everything from food service worker to a career consultant. Writing is her first love and her ultimate passion, and she's always looking for new people to share her words with. She can find her at all of these places if you like lovers that aren't quite human, sweeping romance, and love that conquers all. It would be so pleased if you could join her on this journey. Anita, why don't you take it from here, fill in some of the blanks, and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'd be happy to. Let's see. I've been writing, like I said, I've been writing over a decade. I started with collaborative work and then moved into solo work. Writing is a passion of mine, a personal and very deep passion. I love stories and grew up on stories where the men weren't quite human, but still are devoted to their loves. Let's see. Do that. I have a degree in astrophysics, so world building is fairly simple in that respect. I can create massive sweeping worlds because I understand things like climate, and the magnetic field's a little silly, but it works for me.
Well, being an astrophysicist, you delve into the stars and everything, so that's probably you came up with some of these ideas.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So are you a self-publishing author, or do you agency or indie author? What does that mean?
I'm an indie author. I'm actually hybrid. I have a company that works with some of my stories, and then I publish the rest on my own. As far as it working, yep, I do the covers, I do the blurbs. All they handle is the marketing.
Oh. So in your writings, because you've been doing this for a while, in your writings, take us to a point in time what you would consider your worst author moment, and tell us that story.
Worst author moment, probably when I was just getting started with self-publishing, and I had to figure out my blurbs for the very first time. I had no idea what I was doing, so the first blurbs aren't very good. I'm working on rewriting them, but as far as the lowest author moment, probably when I was first publishing and the blurbs were bad, and people were telling me that the blurbs were bad in reviews, and so I had to go back and I had to change everything, and I just felt horrible for the people that had to suffer through them for the first time.
Makes you feel kind of bad that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So what did you do to make an adjustment the next time?
I read a lot of books. I did a lot of research on other people's blurbs and started putting the other things that actually matched the tone of the story.
Okay. But we all have to learn this. All of us have the first one, right?
Yes,
And we
exactly.
know that that first one may be not our best one, but we learn as we go and make our
Hmm.
adjustments. So,
Yep.
okay,
And
the next one I would like to ask is what I call the epiphany. Take us to a point in time. Doesn't matter what you were doing. You could have been driving, cooking, in the shower. That's my favorite one. So, and all of a sudden, these incredible light bulbs. It's kind of like, wow, wow, I gotta get a pen and paper. I thought of something. It's all of a
yeah,
sudden you got to do it. Take us to a moment like that.
okay. So I was actually on a walk, and all of a sudden I get this idea for this the Bonded Wings series is what came to me while I was doing. I was like 3 miles away from home. I had nothing on me except for my phone, and so I grab my phone and I start dictating madly to Siri about this huge idea. And I probably looked insane because I'm walking down the street in front of God and everybody, talking into my phone about all these winged things and this dark force that's out to conquer the world. And um,
Everybody think
yeah,
you're crazy.
yeah. Like because I was at the park and there were dogs everywhere and people everywhere, and I probably looked nuts, but that's where I originally got the idea for the series.
And gave you, even though everybody thinks you're crazy, it helped you turn that into success, right?
Yes,
Yes. It's just the way it goes sometimes. When you have that hit you, you got to take advantage of it. You can't just let it go and then try to think of it again later. Right?
yes, exactly.
So, what was today? I should say, what is the one thing today or about today that you're the most excited about or the most fired up about today?
I am finishing out a book today. I'm finishing the fifth book in the Bonded Wings series, the first
Wow,
the first book in a new duet, and that's always really exciting to finish something and to see the end kind of come to life.
absolutely. So, the fifth book?
Yep, the fifth book.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is something to be excited. Again, this is Michael T, and I thank you for being with us this morning. To all our listeners, I would invite you to go to bookpartypodcast.com. It is bookpartypodcast.com and hit that subscribe tab on top. Scroll down to the icon of your choice where you can find us one of the platforms where you can download and follow us there. Please don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and get the latest information with upcoming shows. Now, we go into our lightning four pointed questions with four pointed answers. Question number one. Before you ever started writing, what was holding you back before you started?
A question of audience. Is anybody going to want to read this once I write it?
Is anybody going to want to read it? Is it kind of a
Yeah,
fear thing?
yeah, it is. It's a nerve thing, an imposter syndrome thing.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. I hear the imposter syndrome. I hear those types of things. Yeah. Okay. Well, during your writing career, what was the best piece of advice that you ever received?
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. That's all a first draft is meant to do is exist.
True. Somebody told me the other day, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, told me one of the things is was the best advice you heard. I hadn't heard it before either. Write drunk and edit perfect.
I've heard that one too. Write drunk, edit sober.
Yeah, that's what he'd said.
I
And I
think
had never heard that
I
before. You can
I
always go
think
back
it's in.
and fix it. Just get in there and just pound that keyboard.
Yeah.
That's sound like a good plan. Okay, share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success?
I outline really extensively. I have a three-stage outline. I 10 pull outline. I settle the beats into the overall book, and then I blow those beats out into scenes, and then from there I blow those scenes out into chapters. So it's a three-stage outline, which results in a very clean first draft. So I'm not drafting and redrafting. Um, it's basically
Outline.
one draft.
Okay. Can you share with our listeners at least one internet resource for your writing?
Yes, good internet resource is I'm on a couple of really good writing discords. One is Indie Authors Ascending, which is devoted to helping you increase the well, not increase, it's helping you level up your writing career. So I highly recommend them.
What's the name of that again?
It's called Indie Authors Ascending.
Okay. All right. Well, now we're going to end up here in the grand finale. What I'd like you to do in the grand finale is this is your time to promote and talk about your book. Because when we put this out there, we're going to obviously have the links to your book and connections, website, everything's going to be on the page. And what I want you to do is go ahead and talk about your book. And
Okay.
or more than one series. And go ahead and do that at this point.
Okay. Let's see. The series is called Bonded Wings. The whole idea behind it is that all of the men in the books are a different type of winged being. The first two books, it's a series of duets. The first two books are focused on phoenixes and a lady named Coralie who finds out that she is something that hasn't been seen in 400 years and has to go on a journey in order to master her abilities and fight off the dark entity that's attempting to take over the world. The second duet focuses on dragons, and that's a lady named Abigail, who is spunky and very independent, refuses to be beholden to anyone, and I really loved writing Abigail. She's probably my favorite character that I've written. Her second book in her duet comes out on Monday, so that's going to be available for you. So there'll be two full duets out, and then I'm working on the beginning book of the third duet. But they're all on Amazon. They're all in KU. So I'd love it if you would give them a look.
Okay, so right now you're doing the fifth book in the same series, right?
Yes.
So they're all five of them available?
The fifth book will be out in September.
The first book, you mean?
The
fifth book.
first book, the fifth book. The first book came out in January. I released every other month.
Oh, okay. So are they all available like on Amazon?
Yeah, they're all available on Amazon. They're all in Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, so are they done as ebooks and paperbacks?
Yes. I don't have a hardback version yet. I will be doing hardbacks when I release the full duets. When I release them in duet form, then they'll be hardbacks.
Okay. Well, you've got a kind of an advantage on this because being an astrophysicist, going through school, you had to really, when you're studying, you had to study a lot. So be able to write a book, be able to research and study to make your outline, because the outline is the basis of everything. You have to have a good, solid, and there are chapters of subheadings of it, because that's where your book's going to come from.
Right.
Yeah, so that outline is what's the extreme important thing. You can't start writing anything until that outline is really solid.
Yes, that's absolutely true for me.
On any kind of book. And I hear about people that say they get then they just stop writing. And I don't think that that's the way to go about it. If you get stuck in a spot, Just move ahead a ways and start writing there. And then you'll work your way back and everything will come together in the middle.
Yes.
So you get it and it'll fill in the blanks in the middle and you'll do it. But don't just stop writing.
No, you don't get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get
What's
anywhere. And you don't get anywhere if you just stop.
Exactly. You will not get anywhere. So do you write your books every single day? Do you write?
I write 6 days a week.
I'm sorry?
I write 6 days a week. I take
6
Sundays
days
off.
a week you write? Do you have a
Yes.
goal on how many books you write today?
Between 7 and 10,000.
Wow, that's a lot of words. That's a lot of words per day. Anyway,
Yeah. My average drafting time is about 2 weeks.
the average what? I'm sorry?
My average drafting time, the time it takes me to write a book, is about 2 weeks.
Wow. That is a lot. Well, Anita, we thank you so much for being here with us today and opening up to us. And I'm sure our listeners appreciate it too. Again, this is T, and thank you all for being with us this morning. Please, to our listeners, I would invite you to go to bookpartypodcast.com. That's bookpartypodcast.com. Hit that subscribe tab on the top and scroll down to the icon of your choice, where you can find us on one of your favorite platforms, whether that be Amazon, or that be Spotify. Download us there. And please don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to get the latest information on our upcoming shows. Book Party Podcast is powered and owned by Legacy Publishing LLC and Sheridan Hillman. This is Michael T. signing off.
You must not miss our next episode as we delve into a world of inspiration, entertainment, and thought-provoking insights. Join Michael T. on the next Book Party Podcast and experience a new adventure, a new story, and a complete immersion into the world of Pages Unveiled, Chronicles of the Writing Journey.